You know, I come to a conclusion a long time ago that when you're pulling weeds, like especially where you grow your potatoes, after the potatoes get so big, you're gonna have to kind of just abandon them for a little while. And when you do that, weeds grow up. And then of course, not only that, but your actual potato vines, when you start digging your potatoes, you're going to have all those to contend with too. While they're green, you can just try to pack them out of there, or you can lay them like I did in little piles here, just according if you're in a rush or not. But anyway, what I'm saying is when you pile them up in the pile in this hot sun, that sun will cook the juice out of them. It will actually dry them out. And it's a lot easier to deal with when you're loading them and picking them up and stuff like that. So you can just about get the whole pile in one lick. A lot of dirt with them. This is the part of the gardening that I despise. I really despise it. Now I've got taters somewhere here. I'll have to check and see. I don't know how far I got. I think I got out there. Yeah, they ain't here. But I believe they are on this side. Yeah. These taters right here, so I can back up in here. Might dig them here in a little bit too. Yeah, this is the part of gardening that I despise, especially this time of year, because it is weeds will literally take your garden over. And most of these is what I pulled, well, all these practically right here is what I pulled out of these 2 rows of potatoes. It ain't no big deal to do to clean it up. Now this is the last that I pulled up, and believe me, it's not dried out yet. It's not dried very good, and it's still heavy, fairly heavy. Not that bad though. Not that bad. Just something has to be done. It does, it has to be done. I just don't like doing it. I just don't like doing it. And all this stuff that comes out, I'll show you here in a second. And of course, this heat, only reason I can stand it right now, it's pushing 90, is the humidity as of right this minute is just about 45%. Let me tell you, that beats 70, 80, and 90%. I just can't handle it when it gets like that. And there's nothing out here to me worth it when it gets that hot. So what I'll do is I'll try to ease this out. I'll go over there and dump it in the mulch pile. All right, let's get a few of these weeds I threw here in the middle the other day. We'll load them up. Now they still taters, see, in here. We got to be careful. We need to get them out of here today too. Need to get them taties out of there. Taties. And yes, sir. We can get these dug. There's a pretty good sized tater that's been left laying. Tell you what, since I've got that dingo up here, when I pull these, I could just go ahead and lay them on the ground. I mean in the dingo, instead of on the ground. All these old weeds, I'm telling you. You let it start raining, and it don't take no time for your garden to get completely away from you. And that, my friend, is a fact. And what you don't want is these weeds are going to seed on you in your garden. Because there's already enough seeds that it'll take years for me to get them out of here. Whew, ain't gonna be able to take much of this today. That's for sure. I'll tell you what, if I'm careful, I'll be able to ease up a little more. I think that'll be sufficient for the moment. And that way I won't have as far to walk here. But these taters has got to come out of here. That's why I'm got to get these weeds out. I see them every time I pull a big weed on. Pull a big tater up with it. Lamb's quarter. There's one thing about it. When you're pulling these weeds, they're very easy to come out. It ain't like you string, you see. Now there's one that's Johnson grass. Rhizome City. See, this Johnson grass, it's already trying to go to seed. Of course, whether it goes to seed or whether it don't, that stuff is a mess. Because it will, I'm telling you, it multiplies several different ways. Rhizome seeds. It's a mess. A mess. I ain't got far to go here. I get this out. Turned a bunch of taters at that time. When I get this out, then I can get in here and start getting the taters. The rest of them. We can get our taters. Yes, sir. The old turnips just went south, and I can smell them. That'll make good fertilizer. Just turn them in. Turn the turnips in. Come up from there, boy. These old cucumbers is running plumb across the carrots. That's all right. Give them some space. They gotta have it. I don't know what kind of vine this little stuff is. Hey, it must be something new. It's something new. I'm not going to be able to get all this today because I'm already burning. I'm burning at both ends here, I say. This is some kind of little vine. What is that? Tater vine? I don't know what it is. Yeah. Tater vine. Whew. Yeah. My goodness. My goodness, my friend. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I don't know if there's any, I'm sure there's people out there that don't know what Johnson grass is. I'll show you here in a minute why this stuff is a nightmare. And of course, if you ever get it started, and especially if you've got good loose dirt like this, it's just waiting to it's just waiting to run. And run it will. Run it will. So I'm about, well, there's a little more. Now you pull this up, well, I've got her. No, you ain't. No, you ain't got it. You have been deceived. Let's take a look at these turnips in a minute too. I'll tell you too, they have lasted longer right now than I figured they would. Johnson grass, Johnson grass. I think, well, we'll keep going till we know where the end of these is at. I don't think I'll put these in my compost pile. Not them. Because too many Johnson grass roots for me to put in there. Whew. This goes along with it, people. This goes along with it. It ain't all roses. What was it they said? Let no one deceive you. Do not be deceived, my friend. Them taters, they're still a-going, and now I see them. That's good. That's good. What that means, there's more taters. About got it though. I've about got it. Come out of there. Lord have mercy. A collage. That was a collage of Johnson grass. Now, they say you have to know when to quit, boy. Well, I know. Even though I got that close, there comes a quitting time. And right now, it's time to get out of the heat. So, let's get out of the heat. The reason I rake that out right there is I've got a fig that I scooped out out of the garden. I scooped it out and put it over there, and of course that Johnson grass and I grew it all over it. It'll kill the fig if we don't get some some light around it. Gotta try it, don't we? that helped that pig. As far as helping it goes, see, got most of the weeds around it. I don't think it'll mount to a hill of beans this year. Bunches of greens and stuff still here. Planted entirely too much, but the pigs love them. And that's a fact. They really do. See if I can't pull a tomato out of there. I don't know if there's any ripe or not. Should just about do it. I mean, I didn't get nothing done, but I got a little done. You can see out through there. It's thinning out. I got the weeds all the way back to that tall Johnson grass there on the right. That's the taters. And they will run. Actually, I've got a dig. I ain't got them half dug. They're not half dug. Old June bugs is eating the beans up. Not the beans near as bad as the leaves. Beans is fine. But you know, they do too much damage with the beans. And or the leaves rather, there won't be no beans. I pulled out the weeds around the Walla Walla onions, and I've riddled them up again here pretty good. But I'm going to try to keep these weeds away from this. Keep them weeds away here and out of the carrots, and they're blocking the sunshine. And of course, that's the end. Yeah, that's the end of the taters. This right here is growing in my asparagus patch, which here in a day or two, I'm gonna the asparagus. And while I'm here, I've got the cucumber and vine here. Had one that voluntarily come up. And the thing of it is, it's these old squash beetles. They hit my cucumbers, and they'll destroy them. Whoo-wee, water's just pouring off of me. I might be able to. Let's see if I can't get rid of some moisture here. Whew! I don't know if you can see this or not, but you watch. And you see all that liquid? That's called our electrolytes. That's why you have to be careful, and you have to put them back and replenish them in this heat. Because if you don't, it could cause problems. I'm gonna switch blades because I don't like that, and that will cut your finger. It's rounded plumb around the end. Yeah. But anyway, let's see if we can't. I'm gonna check another place out here too, right here in a second, for a cucumber, right here beside these carrots. I don't think Stephanie's been into them. Oh, Steffi ain't. I like them. I like stuff right fresh here, just like this. Mm-hmm. Pretty good little morsel. Let's go right here. I'm gonna walk here and see if I can't find a cucumber in here. I don't know if I can or not. All I know, one thing, you'll find a bunch of weeds that shouldn't be there. I don't know if there's a cucumber in here or not. I sure don't. I don't know. You'd think there'd be one head a-waiting on me. Oh yeah. You know, there's always a cucumber on a vine. Sometimes it's not what you want, but sometimes you take what you get. I'll have to get the big knife on this one. Whew. This will be a good one to roll up and fry. Fried cucumbers. I wonder how this will taste. I can tell you exactly what it'll taste like. Person eat this, he wouldn't need no supper, would he? I don't know if I can eat it or not. It's a big one. It's been laying there entirely too long. When this happens, I think what happens, that plant says, hey, of course the whole objective of any plant is to reproduce. And it's salt, but it's good. When you leave fruit on too long, on a lot of plants, and they reproduce like this, that's got seeds in it, starting. Ain't no starting to it. When they get in that shape though, the plant says, hey, I've done my job. It reproduced. And good. I went to the trouble and put 5 little okras there, and Stephanie come with a shear and she sheared them off. She didn't see them. There's 2 there, but the weeds and stuff's got around them. Anyway, I should have never planted them there. This is going to get tilled shortly. Shortly. And I'll get my taters out. Got all them Egyptian walking onions I pulled up and laid there. They're still laying there. Well, I was going to trim that off anyway. Trim them seeds out there. It must not be meant for me to eat this. I've done eat half of it. Nah. Lord have mercy. Yeah. We'll till that in too. Check one more thing. I don't know if they're any good. I have no idea. And we won't have till we try it. So these turnips has, the tops is all died down now practically. And I'm curious to see what this turnip's like. I'm gonna say it's fine, and it may be strong, may be too strong. But what we'll do is give it a shot and see here. Let's give it a little shot and see what it's like. And Lord. I'd pick something up to dust something off with and pick the root up full of dirt. I just want to see what this is like. It may be full of bugs or worms, or who knows. I tell you, who knows, who's going to know here in a minute, me and you. Because I'm fixing to check her out. We'll start here. And we'll start taking that off right through there. You see a lot of times it looks like, oh, there's bugs in that. There'll be a little hole, and they can be. You just have to watch. Most of the time, them holes that you see in a root crop like this, not always, but most of the time, is not, it's just basically the surface. Now, some of them will go deep. These have been here long enough that they may be right. They may be infested, but we're going to find out. And if they are, what we're going to do is we're going to find out what's been infesting them, and we're going to try to annihilate them. I think it's nematodes. I don't know for sure. So I'm not going to say that that's what it is, because I really don't know. They don't go very deep. There's a little bitty, of course these just went deeper than they normally do. In that one. Right here's one on this side, right there. I see how deep it goes. Now it's in there, and that's it. Oh, that one, I guess total of that is a 1/4 inch deep. Now let's split it wide open here. And look in there, yeah. That's what I was expecting. Yeah. They're a turnip inside. They get pethy, is what I always call it, spongy, pethy. And they ain't no good. Outside of that, not the inside, the outside. It's edible for a bite or two. As far as a good turnip, I'm gonna look one more time before I give up, just to see, and I will know beyond a shadow of a doubt whether they are or whether they ain't. Yeah, they're puffy. They're done. so they can be tilled in. Good, they've served their purpose, and they'll serve more. They'll get utilized as organic matter. Let me check one more thing while I'm here. As usual, these is my onions that's got rained on a dozen times. My Egyptian walking onions. And these is the ones that I need to probably get these up, but my God, I've got enough to plant the town 10 times. Let's sit down here and peel it. They'll lay right there and dry out. They do this as good there as it would anywhere. And I may take the onions out. Who knows? They're pretty good sized onions for Egyptian walking onions. They really are. But you've got to get that outside off. And of course, again, these onions are not, I don't use them for, I mean, you can take a big one like this, peel that outer layer off, 3 or 4 layers, and then you come to that onion, and then I'll go as far as taking another one off. And once you get so far, that's what you're gonna have. You take that big onion, because them's tough outside. You got an onion like that, that's a pretty good sized onion. I mean, for an Egyptian walking onion to cook with. I don't know. I'm fixing to find out, because I'm gonna eat a part of this. And I'm gonna cut that end off, and then I'm gonna shave me a little end off of this end. A little strong. Now that was the top end. Now I'm gonna shave me a little off of this bottom end, see if there's any difference. Yeah, that bottom end's stronger. Yeah, it's pretty strong. But now, I'm glad I done this. I'm glad I've done this. Because I see something that I've never paid much attention to. Inside this onion. This one bulb. What I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I see the potential. I'm going to see if I can't take that apart and see. I see the potential for 5 onions. If you planted this would grow 5 onion shoots. Yeah, now right here, you can see, and I've took that down. Now right here, I'm just going to use my fingers to show you. Look here. See that come apart? Look at there. So I'll lay that right there for right now. And then I'll take one more section off. Let's keep taking a section off, one at a time. See what happens here. Now right here, look here. Look at that, it just comes apart. Now I'll take another section apart. I think it may take 2 on this one, I don't know. Just take it apart and see. One more section. What I'm doing is going to the heart of this onion. Yeah, look here. All right, there's 1, 2 more. And this one, it's like I say, I'm going all the way to the heart of this onion. To the heart. I'm going to its heart. You gotta take one more off on this, and of course, as these onions matured, these would continually grow. I'm talking about after they were replanted. You plant them now, this fall, you'll have onions coming up. Now right here, see that's split, that's 2. That's 2 onions right there. There we go. So there's our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hearts. That's how you plant one of those bulbs, Egyptian walking onions, and you wind up with a big cluster of them. Actually, this little one right, of course it's nature. I don't care how little they are. You break them down, individualize them. And you'll see this one actually in the heart of it's got 3. And this one has got 2 that I see. So, I mean, over as they're growing, you plant one bulb of that, and it will multiply, and then it'll fall over, and that's how they call it walking, and it'll drop them, the ones that grow on top start little onions. They fall over and they'll start. Next thing, you plant them in this garden and walk off, and don't look back. And in 5 or 6 years, this whole garden would be an Egyptian walking onion. So you got to keep them under control. Okay, I've run my mouth enough. Let's get inside where it's cool. I'm going to have to wring some water out of my bandana again.